God only knows what you've been through. God only knows what they say about you. God only knows how it's killing you. But there's a kind of love that God only knows. God only knows what you've been through. God only knows what they say about you. But God only knows the real you. There's a kind of love that God only knows.
Welcome to Season 2, Episode 16 of Your Journey Is Not Over. My name is Tanya Pearson Randolph. This is my own personal journey, and the expressions and opinions are of my own. I own all the rights to my personal journey, and to Your Journey Is Not Over. Neither are to be used, copied, or edited in any way without my consent. Getting back on track on, yes, my personal journey. I survived my freshman year. A lot happened, that's for sure. And again, at the time, living it just seemed normal to me. Now, I'm like, how could that seem normal to anyone? Again, it was just my life. So it's the summer of 1986, and I was working a lot, and of course, making time to hang out with friends and party a lot too. When I say I made time to hang out with my friends and party, that was exactly it. I made time. I now realize that, again, looking back, I ran completely on trauma. Even though people couldn't see my trauma, I carried my trauma well. I hid it well. But I had to be in control of every single minute of my day. Everything precisely planned out every single day. Even my sleep was scheduled. Structure, schedule, and organization was what ran me completely. I was OCD, not only with my bedroom, my clothes, my schedule, my time, and also my money. By the way, my nickname was Tightwad Tanya. My friend that I call my ride or die, well, she would always make me laugh because she would always say to our other friends, if Tanya even finds a random penny on the streets or in a parking lot, she takes that penny straight to the bank to deposit it into her savings account. Yes, I had a savings account that my dad took me to open that year. In fact, I still have that exact savings account. I've never closed it. And my dad's name is still on that account. I won't close it because of the memory of the day that he took me to open it. Memories are precious to me. Back to Tightwad Tanya. I don't think I was that bad. Maybe I was. I don't know. Everything my whole life was unpredictable. Daily, my mom was extremely unpredictable. So I think my trauma response was to control every part of my life. I had a friend ask me not too long ago, what if you were out partying with your friends, and having a good time? Did you break your schedule to stay longer? My answer was no. If I had on my schedule that I was going out to hang out with friends and party, say from 8 o'clock to midnight, and in bed by 12:30, I kept my schedule. My friends that were around me during this time, they're probably laughing right now, and most likely they're saying, she was serious about her schedule, and she was serious about her sleep. So again, it's summer of 1986. Again, working a lot, drinking more than I ever had, and smoking weed daily. I ran the party. I didn't let the party run me. I kept my priorities in order, but I enjoyed having fun with my friends. Swimming, hanging out. We have in our county what we call the reservoir. It's a man-made lake that people boat on and like to hang out. It's a real nice lake, and it's close to our city. So us teenagers like to go out there and swim, hang out, and drink with all kinds of people from other schools. We had a place called The Hill. That's where we would all hang out. I always call it a place where friends meet. So on nice sunny days, we would all meet out there. If I didn't get a ride with my older friends, then most of the time, I would ride my moped. Always with a friend on the back, and a case of Little King's beer. Of course covered and strapped to the back with a bungee cord. I called it my party on wheels. So stepping into partying more in the summer is when I start going to rock concerts. That shocks some people that have their own perception of me, I'm sure. Before I get to the next horrible memory, and of course, more trauma, I do want to say no matter what the perception of me, I hung around with people that I genuinely had fun with. People that I could laugh with and be silly and goofy with, let my hair down with, and people that I could be myself with. I never stayed in cliques, or as I called them in school, cults. Would I talk to everyone in all the cliques? Yes. Or I would be ornery, always. It's part of my personality. And I would be walking down the halls at school, and I would see a clique together. And I would say hi, so nice and bubbly, and nicely force them to speak to me. And yes, I mingled with everyone from other cliques too, but I didn't hang out with any of them a lot. I had a variety of people that I hung out with, again, whoever I had fun with. And most of those cliques, well, they stayed within their own group and didn't hang out with anyone outside their own little group, which I always thought it stunted their own growth. They never got to expand and truly learn about other people, bring it down a notch, learn about other people again, and not judge people on what they wore, where they lived, or the most common in school was who they hung around with. Be open to new people, new experiences. Judge people on their energy, on their hearts and their souls. And looking back on that, again, the cliques. There was always one person that was in control of each clique. And while everyone in that particular group played follow the leader, and they did talk to, dressed however the leader of that clique wanted them to. I always compared it to a bunch of sheep following the leader. And by doing that, well, my opinion anyway, they missed out on new friends, new experiences, and knowledge about others. And I can't forget, they missed out on a lot of laughs, a lot of joyous moments, and a lot of fun memories. Again, memories are precious to me. So I was hanging out with my friends that also worked. They drank, smoked, and went to rock concerts. My first concert was Van Halen, and it was so much fun. I got hooked and then began to go to every concert that came. Of course, along with these same friends. Close, tight-knit group, and everyone looked out for everyone. We would always clear our work schedules for the evening of the concert and for the next day. That way we could regroup, hang out, reminisce, and keep the party going the day after the concert. So I went to the concert, and the next morning, it was all planned out that we would get our swimming suits, the trunks for the guys, of course, and we would go to the reservoir to hang out. My house was the last stop and closest to the reservoir. And mind you, these friends had never been to my house or around my mom. And maybe I thought, because there was 5 of them, that just maybe my mom wouldn't embarrass me. I thought wrong. So they show up to get me, and I came out of my bedroom into the living room. They all came in, and we were all sitting in the living room. I actually was laying on the love seat, trying to regroup from a lot of partying the night before. All my friends were talking about the night before, cracking up and just joking around. I was listening and not really chiming in too much. Again, I had just gotten up and I was feeling the effects of partying the night prior. So I was quiet, trying to muster up the energy to get up, get my suit on, pull my hair up, wash my face, brush my teeth, so that we could head out for a day of sun and fun. Well, that was not to be for me that day. Again, laying on the love seat, listening to my friends that again had never been to my house or around my mom. And they were just there to pick me up. So I was merely laying there listening, and all of a sudden, out of nowhere, no forewarning at all, it sounded like a bomb went off in my left ear. And without even being able to recover from that bomb in my left ear, my mom was on top of me, just beating the crap out of me. I mean, pounding on me in front of all my friends, too. I'm sure they were like, what in the world? This was common for me, but Most of the time, I seen it coming. I didn't see this coming at all. She got me from the side of the love seat with that first punch hitting me in my left ear, and then came around to the front of the love seat and pounced on me. It was almost like a lion would pounce on prey. Of course, always, I started screaming for my dad so that he could get in there quick to get her off of me. I did draw up my legs and I kicked her off of me. I didn't raise my hands to her, and I wouldn't because my promise to my grandma. But I did kick her off of me to buy me some time for my dad to get in there. He got in there quick and he grabbed her back. I, of course, was stunned and shocked, as I'm sure all my friends were too. The pain in my left ear and the ringing in my left ear, it was horrible. I felt something wet on the side of my face, and there was blood coming out of my left ear. Not to mention, I had a busted mouth and all kinds of scratches on my face. She always went for my face. So as my dad is holding her back, I immediately, after realizing my ear was bleeding, I asked my friends if they would take me to the emergency room, and they of course said yes. So I demanded my insurance card. And I do remember, this was only the second time in my life that I actually seen fear in my mother's face. First was when the doctor confronted her at the hospital about what she was doing to me. And now, she immediately calmed down and snapped out of whatever personality had came over her and made her do that to me. And she kept asking me if I was going to tell them at the emergency room. My response was, hell yeah, I'm telling them. I was tired of this behavior from her. I was tired of being beat on for no reason, tired of being her punching bag. And it was like another personality had just kicked in. She started apologizing, and it looked like she was getting ready to cry. And she kept telling me she was sorry. She wasn't sorry. It was all a manipulation tactic, wanting me to feel sorry for her so that I wouldn't tell on her. She wasn't sorry she did it. She was sorry that I'd had enough. And I was going to tell on her and tell the doctors how my ear and my face got hurt. Stockholm Syndrome. Always make you feel sorry for and want you to protect your abuser. I wasn't under her spell that day. I had a voice, and I was so tired of the hatred and the resentment and the abuse towards me. And she had done damage, real damage to my ear. She had went too far this time. Like I said Tuesday, I'm going to end every podcast with things that I have read, and I truly hope it helps someone else, like it has helped me. Here's the one I chose for today. Luke 23, verse 24, reminds us to love them anyway. Some people are only meant to be in your life for a season. Maybe they needed the love that God knew that you could offer. Or perhaps you were meant to reflect God's grace, even in the face of pain. Your love has the power to heal, so don't let the hurtful actions of others harden your heart. Keep loving, even when it's hard. That's what Jesus did. He loved first and without conditions. This concludes my podcast for today. Please join me next Tuesday. Listen in, and always remember, your journey is not over. God bless.
God only knows what you've been through. God only knows what they say about you. God only knows how it's killing you. But there's a kind of love that God only knows.